Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another piece of Destiny 2 news as the road to Destiny 2 launches not launches, but comes in very, very close, just less than a week away. Now, in this video, it's going to be a bit of a long one. We're going to be discussing all the exotic weapons and armor, which includes the exotic perks as well. We'll talk a little bit about Xur, Agent of the Nine. What else are we going to talk about? Oh yeah, and the subclass skill trees for the Taken King subclasses, which is the Night Stalker, Stormcaller, and Sunbreaker. So without further ado, let's get underway. We'll start off with the exotic weapons. Now, here's the kinetic weapons category for the exotic weapons. Now again, we have new exotics coming to Destiny 2, and all the ones from Destiny 1 coming to Destiny 2. So, a little bit surprising, because a long time ago, we found out that none of these weapons or armor are going to be carried over to Destiny 1. Well, there is going to be some, but not all of it. So here are the weapons coming to Destiny 2, starting with the kinetic category. We have the Mida Multi-Tool from Destiny 1, so it's going to be coming. We have the Sturm, we have Rat King, Sweet Business, which we saw one of those three weapons in the Destiny 2 beta, and I'm pretty sure this is a Trials exotic weapon called the Vigilance Wing. And now for the energy weapons category, you saw this one from the pre-order. This is one of two pre-order bonuses you can get in-game, called the Cold Heart Trace Rifle. And as mentioned, if you don't pre-order this between now and launch, you won't be able to get them until possibly December 5th. But who knows? It's going to be a good rifle to use. This is the next one from Destiny 1 called Hard Light. Now remember, Hard Light was a regular primary weapon with no burns. Well, this one will now have burns, for sure. That's for Arc, Solar, and or Void. The next one here is Fighting Lion. And then we have the Risk Runner. I'm pretty sure that one was for the Titan, I believe. And I think Sweet Business... was that the one from the... Oh, that's the one from either the Warlock or Titan. I think it's the Warlock. Next one, Graviton Lance. Then we have Skyburner's Oath. And here's the third and final weapon that you played in the Destiny 2 beta, called the Sunshot. That's the hand cannon there for the Hunter. And now moving on to the power weapons category. We have Darcy, or in the periods there, and in caps, D-A-R-C-I. So it stands for Darcy right there. Then we have Merciless, Legend of Icarus, the Prospector, Tractor Cannon, and this is the weapon that everybody's been talking about since Destiny 1. Now, everybody was saying that there was going to be a dubious volley rocket launcher coming to Destiny 1. Well, it didn't happen in Destiny 1, but it is coming to Destiny 2. But it's not called dubious volley, though. No. It's now called the Wardcliff Coil. Okay, so that's the rocket launcher that will be coming to D2. Now, next up, we're going to be talking about exotic armor, beginning with the Titan, and we're going to be talking about the exotic intrinsic perks for that. So we're going to start off with the Destiny 1 helmet here, called the Insurmountable Skullford. And here's the perk for this one here. Kills with arc melee abilities trigger health regeneration and restore melee energy. Then the next one, Mask of the Quiet One, grants ability energy when damaged, and health regeneration when inflicting void damage. Then the next piece of armor returning from Destiny 1, it's the ACD/0 feedback fence. These are the gloves here. There's no details for that one, but in Destiny 1 they dealt damage in an area of effect around you whenever you were hit by enemy melee attacks. And the next set of gloves here, Doomfane Pauldron. Shield Bash melee kills recharge the shield throw, and melee ability kills recharge the Centennial Shield Super. That sounds pretty good. Next one here, Synthal Sense. Increased melee lunge damage, range, not damage. Improved damage when surrounded. Next one here, Activum War Rig. This was one of the 3 chess pieces here. The perk for this one, steadily reloads a portion of your equipped auto rifle's magazines from reserves. And the next one here, Crest of Alpha Luffy, generates an additional orb of life from supers and a healing pulse when the barricade is activated. And then this one here, Hallowfire Heart, greatly improves the recharge rate of your solar abilities while Hammer of Soul is charged. That's the big one here, Hammer of Soul, and I'll explain that later. Going to the boots category now, the Doom Marchers. Increased sprint speed, and sprinting builds up a static charge. Now after melee attacking an enemy, that charge will chain damage to nearby enemies. Then we have Lion Rampant. Provides additional aerial maneuverability. And the last one here, Peacekeepers. It reloads stowed submachine guns and allows you to ready them instantly. So that's the Titan exotic armor there. The next one we're going to be talking about is the Warlock. Starting off with a helmet. It's Crown of Tempest. Arc ability kills increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities. The next one here is I Have Another World. Highlights priority targets and improves the regeneration speed of your grenade, melee, and rift abilities. Then we have Nezarek's Sin. Void damage kills grant ability energy. Then the returning Destiny 1 helmet for the Warlock called the Skull of Dar Amakara. This one provides additional damage resistance during the Nova Bomb. And of course, Nova Bomb kills grant super energy. Now there's no details for the next one here, which is the Karnstein armlets, and no details for the Sunbracers, but in Destiny 1, the Sunbreaker gloves granted a second solar grenade charge, and longer lasting solar grenades. Now they've eventually been renamed to avoid confusion with the Titan subclass there, so you eventually get the idea. No details on the perks for the Winter's Guild, and for the Starfire Protocol chest, but again, Destiny 1 as well grants Sunsingers, which is the Dawnblade's predecessor, and it grants a second fusion grenade charge. So that's not too bad right there. Where are we? Oh yeah, Wings of Sacred Dawn. Aiming down sights while airborne will hold you in place. The airborne kills will reduce your grenade cooldown. And of course, no details for the Lunafaction boots, and no details for the Transversive steps, but of course in Destiny 1, they granted faster movement speed while crouched, and automatically reload your guns whenever you picked up the ammo they used. Okay, and now we're going to discuss the Hunter Exotic Armor. Beginning with the Celestial Nighthawk. It modifies the Golden Gun to fire a single high damage shot, and victims killed by the shot explode. So that's going to be pretty good. Next one here is the Foe Tracer. It visually marks targeted enemies. No details for the next one, which is the Knucklehead Radar, but again in Destiny 1, it left your radar visible while aiming down sights with primary or, in parentheses, kinetic weapons. No details for the next one here, which is Mechanire's Trick Sleeves, and no details for Yan Amakara's Spine, but again in Destiny 1, it gave gunslingers another trip mine charge and caused place trip mines to last longer before despawning. So again, pretty good right there. Next one here, the Dragon's oh god, I wish I could talk today, folks. The Dragon's Shadow, that's what we're trying to say here, grants increased movement and weapon handling speed for a short time after dodging. Then we have Lucky Raspberry, increases the chaining capabilities of Arc Bolt Grenade and has a chance to recharge it each time it deals damage. Then we have Raiden Flux for the chest there. Quick successive attacks with Arc Staff increases its damage output and duration. And then we have the Lucky Pants, increases hand cannon ready speed and initial accuracy. And then we have Orphis Rig, provides ability energy for each enemy tethered by Shadow Shot anchors. And then we have the Stomp EE5, not the Frost EE5, the Stomp EE5. It increases sprint speed and slide distance and improves the jump. So there you go, that's all of the exotics that will more than likely be coming to Destiny 2, both old and new. And speaking of the exotics, this lucky fellow here named Zur, Agent of the Nine. Now, if you like this guy so much, well, he'll be coming back to Destiny 2, folks. Actually, let me see my recording time. We're about 10 minutes in. So hopefully this won't be any more than 20 minutes, because we're going to be going to the subclasses shortly. For the Taken King, that is. So Xur will be coming back to Destiny 2. So obviously he'll be here with exotic equipment and such. But again, he has his own currency. He's going to appear on weekends and in one of the several locations. Now again, back in the tower though, it didn't take him long to track down right there, because he was just everywhere in the tower and one location in the reef. But now it's going to be a little bit tougher though, because he'll randomly appear in a public sector in each of the 4 worlds. That's Earth, or the European Dead Zone, Io, Nessus, or Titan. Okay, and according to Bungie, legendary shards replace strange coins as his currency. Okay, so pretty sure he won't be accepting strange coins. If you have legendary shards, well, that's where you need to go. Okay, alright, now we're going to go on to the Reddit page, which I think it's right up here. Okay, again, I'm just using the Microsoft Edge right here, so there you are. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready. Okay, so we've discussed the exotics, we discussed Xur. Now the last thing we're going to be talking about here is the Taken King subclass skill trees here. Just the skill trees only. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. Now the first one here, we're going to be talking about the Night Stalker, and we're only going to be talking about the paths only, because that's the only piece of information we got here. Oh, for crying out loud. Come on. There we go. So, we're going to start with the upper path, which is Way of the Trapper. Okay, now here's the 4 abilities here. The first one is Snare Bomb, and the description reads, throw a smoke bomb trap from a distance with this melee ability. The smoke bomb sticks to surfaces and detonates when enemies are near, which are slowing and disorienting them. Then we have Keen Scout, sprint and sneak faster and gain an enhanced tracker. The tethered enemies are marked for easy tracking. Then the next one here, Deadfall, the void anchors fire from shadow shot become traps and wait for prey. The void anchors have increased range and last longer. And finally, vanishing step. Dodging makes you vanish from sight for a short time. Then we have the lower path called Way of the Pathfinder. And here are the 4 abilities for this one. The first one here is Vanish in Smoke. Throw a smoke bomb explosive from a distance with this melee ability. The smoke bomb creates a cloud that makes you and nearby allies, invisible. Then we have Lockdown. Grenade and smoke effects last twice as long, allowing for strong tutorial control and increased damage potential. And then we have Heart of the Pack. Killing tethered enemies creates orbs of light and increases mobility, recovery, and resilience for you and nearby allies. So again, I'm trying to think of their... again, there's no armor, no speed, no recovery for Destiny 2. It's just mobility, recovery, and resilience. Pretty much for your information. And the last one here, Mobius Quiver. Fire Shadow Shot multiple times in rapid succession, and Shadow Shot deals massive damage against tethered enemies. So that sounds pretty good right there. I think I'm going to like the Night Stalker. I used to be a very good Night Stalker shooter there, especially in the raid. All kidding aside, let's move on. We're going to go to the Stormcaller category now. Here's the upper path called Attunement of Ions, and the 4 abilities as well. The first one here is Chain Lightning. Deliver an electrocuting arc melee strike at extended range that chains from the struck target to another enemy nearby. Again, I'm just going quickly as possible here. Next one, Transcendence. When cast with full grenade and melee energy, Storm Trance lasts longer and fully restores health. Then we have Arc Web next. Enemies damaged by your grenades chain deadly lightning to nearby enemies. And then we have Ionic Blink. Press the sprint button to teleport during Storm Trance. Now there's a lower path called Attunement of the Elements. Here's the first ability here called Gale Force. This electrocuting melee ability hits at extended range and recharges your super, grenade, and melee energy. Then we have Landfall. On casting Storm Trance, fire a bolt of lightning into the ground, creating a devastating shockwave under you. And then there's Rising Storm. Your rift charges faster when allies are near, or there's Arc Soul. Your rift now grants you, or any ally who uses it, an Arc Soul to aid you in battle. Okay, so that's it for Stormcaller, and finally we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up with the Sunbreaker. There's two paths here. First one for the upper path, Code of the Fire Forged. Oh, I forgot to mention the lower path. It's called the Attunement of the Elements. That's for the Stormcaller. Forgot to mention that. Now, the upper path, Code of the Fire Forged. That's for the Sunbreaker here. The first one for the ability, it's called Hammer Strike. While sprinting, use this melee ability to unleash a blazing hammer strike that weakens enemies. Then there's Tempered Metal. Solar ability kills grant you and nearby allies bonus movement and reload speed. And then there's Battle Forge. Enemies killed by Hammer Soul explode. And then we have Vulcan's Rage. Hammers shatter into explosive molten embers on impact. And finally, the lower path called Code of the Siege Breaker. And the first ability here, Mortar Blast. Strike an enemy with this melee ability to release a solar explosion, setting nearby enemies on fire. And then we have Sun Warrior. Solar ability kills restore your health. Grenade and melee ability kills leave a deadly sunspot in their wake. And then there's Rings of Fire. While standing in a sunspot, your solar abilities recharge faster and your super lasts longer. And finally, Solar Siege. Hammers create a sunspot on impact, and while standing in sunspots, you throw hammers faster. So there you go. That's the upper and lower paths for all of the Taken King subclasses. Now, there's no information on grenades, melees, or supers yet, but once the game launches, I'll show you the rest of the paths for the Taken King subclasses here. So there you go, folks. I know it's a bit of a long video, but I had to explain a ton of Destiny 2 news for this one here. We discussed exotics, Xur, and the paths there for the Taken King, and just the Taken King, just for those three subclasses there. Now, one more thing before I go. There was an interesting strike mission that we're going to get in Destiny 2 called Sabaton's Song. Now, this relates to Oryx's sister, and if you want to have more information on Oryx's sister named Sabaton, if you want to get some information on that, I'll post a link for that in the description box below if you want to check it out. Okay, so it's called Sabaton's Song, brand new strike coming to Destiny 2. So the link will be there in the description box below for sure. But other than that, that's going to do it, folks. Boy, oh boy. 5 more days, folks. Can you believe it's only 5 days away? It's almost here. And I'll be doing a lot of Destiny 2 gameplay for it starting next week. And now is an excellent time to subscribe to the channel, folks, because with Destiny 2 so close, we're really going to grow this channel all the way to the top here and get a lot of views on every single one of those D2 videos. So definitely hit that subscribe button, folks. And if you are a subscriber, hit the notifications button by hitting that bell. Leave a like and a comment in the video section. And until we play Destiny 2 next week, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.